Thank you so much for staying with us. This is Politics Tonight, where we dig beyond the headlines. And tonight, we're discussing moves by the federal government to achieve stable fuel prices in Nigeria. And I've been speaking with the National Operations Controller of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Mr. Mike Osatuyi. Mr. Osatuyi, now with Nigeria still relying on importation of refined petrol for local consumption, how can the system get rid of possible sabotage?
Well, I think this government have re-emphasized that they're going to finish Port Harcourt in December. So we shall, Port Harcourt is at one of the 60,000 barrels per day, which will be a great support to Nigerians because the cost of freight, which is about 700 per liter, will not be there. The cost of finance, right? Because if you are importing fuel from Rotterdam, right, it takes 21 days to arrive in Nigeria in a big vessel. And again, you have to transship it also with, to a smaller vessel before you bring to the jetty. So those costs will be off. Then the cost of finance also, the cost I'm going to pay for 3-4 days, will be different from the one I'm going to pay for about a month. So we're going to have some cost off that cost we are incurring now. So that one is going to be a big relief. But 2 days is going to provide job for Nigerians. And we want them to replicate what the promise or that will be done in Port Harcourt, in Warri, and Kaduna. You know, we have two refineries in Port Harcourt. So it's doable. And I confirm that the contract has been awarded by the past government. They should now ensure that it is being implemented without any normal bottleneck or normal bureaucracy, normal politics. But it's doable if we are serious.
Is that the only solution?
Well, with what the other country also has given us a refinery, which will come on stream. And the refinery is bigger than the 4 refinery we have in South Africa. Right? And it's more than the 4 we have in Nigeria. So we are good to go. It's even bigger than the biggest refinery in the US. Because this one is 650,000 barrels. The biggest one in the US is 625,000 barrels per day. So we are good to go. And we have to give kudos to the man that okay, if you can do it as an individual, right, within the same environment, why can't the government also do it for over 10, 20, 30 years?
So now that we're talking about refineries, the Dangote refinery was hailed as saving grace for Nigeria, but is yet to commence operations. Can Nigeria really rely on that?
If you have been to the refinery, you will know that, yes, we are good to go very soon. It's massive. As an individual has done something, what have we done as a country? For years. I think we have hope that very soon it will come up. There can be some logistic miscalculation for not coming up now, but they're working there every day, and it's massive. We have to thank the man that he built us out of the mess.
A lot of people are talking about privatization of refineries. Is that the best way to go?
Well, we are there already. We are there already. If government privatize hands off, which I think they have done, because it's going to be run on private partnership, right? I mean the contract they have signed. They do hands off their hands because government cannot run business because it has been done that it has failed. So they should give it to a private individual to run. That is only when they can even get return. Look at the space we have in liquefied gas. I mean energy. Look at the billions the government is getting in dollars in terms of dividend, because it's given to individual, right? I think Nigeria have 49% there. The other have 51% there, like Total and Co. So and they're being run like how it should be run, with all the business ethics and norms. So we are getting results there. We should also replicate what you have in energy in all the four refineries.
All right. I would like you to react to this. Your colleagues at the Crude Oil Refinery Owners Association of Nigeria, that's CORAN, says the government needs to stimulate the modular refineries through fund intervention to enable the accessibility of PMS in the market. What does this mean and how convenient is this?
Well, you know, so many years ago, governments give out license for modular refineries, and they couldn't take off because of the regulation that hasn't happened, because you can't run a refinery in a regulated market. But now that the coast is clear now, yeah, they can seek for so many support from the government so that they too can compete with government refinery and everything. It's not a bad thing if we have, in fact, in US, we have about 130 refineries. Working refinery, 130. Some are very small, some are 10,000, some are 20,000, but it's working. So if it can be done in US, why can't it be done here? If we have 70 model refinery here, why not? But if they form association and now approach government that can you help us in this area, maybe a facility, include price or this or that, okay, if they say, okay, sell to us before you even sell to the foreigners at same price, why not? Right? You know, before in gas, in LPG, cooking gas, what they were doing is that they will export the gas from Bonny and re-import it back for us at same. If even say that, sell it to us at the same price in dollars. I mean, the board refused until when government compared them, and then the price now is now reasonable now, right? So government can say, okay, let us sell to our local refiner first. Then the excess we cannot export, right? As far as they're not being changed. As far as the same price, the same income. Why not? It's not a bad thing.
All right. So as a stakeholder, Mr. Osatuyi, I would like you to talk to us about other existing challenges within the petroleum sector, I mean, both midstream and downstream, that may hamper government's desire to addressing root causes and promoting comprehensive reforms.
The first thing I will say is government should extend credit line to members of Optimum and Mama and Dapman in the area of CNG, so that Optimum too, we have secured a loan with AFDB, but it's not enough. So that government can give us a single-digit loan, so that we can also replicate. I mean, what the MPs want to replicate in their retail outlets, right? So that it's going to be. In fact, we don't need to have 2 refilling stations of CNG in a state.
One is
I mean, it doesn't make sense. Okay. But we're starting from somewhere. It should be under 2 kilometers, you have driving, you have refill. So government has to also come in that area. That's number 1. It has to be per zoo. So that in another 3 years, we're talking about all the stations, both major, Ipman, we have got a CNG in our stations with LPG. And also, there are also the Center for Conversion too. We have some of our stations that are very big, that can accommodate conversion center. That one also is very key. Then the other, that's on the downstream sector. Then and then they also need to give us also soft loan, because since the cost of lifting a petrol now about 27 million naira, which has shot my members out of business. They also need to come in so that you can give us a soft loan with single digits, so that people can have access to the fund and to the price. So that we don't go back again to the monopoly era, where it's only the NPC that have money can buy or can import. That's that area. Then the area of upstream, crude. It's good that they involve a private security agent to monitor our crude lines, which has achieved some success. Right? But it's very, very unfortunate that even the security agents we are having, the Navy, cannot do their job. But if they are doing their job, they couldn't have engaged a private security agent. Not only Navy, also the Army. Or in fact, all the forces, they need to. In fact, we don't need. It doesn't make sense for us to go and engage an individual who's a Nigerian to be monitoring our pipelines. When we have security agents saddled with the job, the Navy, in fact, what is there? the job of Navy is to protect our territorial water. Abi?
Absolutely.
So why have not failed to do that? And if somebody, if they're moving millions of barrels of crude oil out of the country smartly, not needle, with big vessel, and they cannot do their work. It's very. But I think with what they have done now, let's see how we're going to go with this new government that has reawakened security agencies to do their job. Let's see if it will stop, because you cannot steal crude without connivance. And consider those pipelines that they connect, reconnect, do all those things for years. You cannot imagine how many trillions of dollars we have lost the country. And that is part of what brought us to where we are. I can remember there was a time we were doing 2.5 million barrels per day, crude oil production per day, which came as low as 800 sometimes, because they are already still half of the crude. As they are pumping, it's going to another channel.
So we have two major bodies for oil marketers. We have IPMAN and MOMAN. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So how do they differ in operations and scope?
We have three. I think at the third one, the DAPMAN.
DAPMAN.
Yes, DAPMAN and depot tuners. We are all stick down. Depot tuners, they are the majorly on storage and discharge throughput on what they store. But at the same time, they have also going to retailing. We don't have as much filling stations as we have in MOMAN and IPMAN. And MOMAN too, they have depots too, right? And they're also in retailing. They are majorly in the cities. Okay. But we in IPMAN is the individual companies. The majors are these majors, Total, Mobil, and what have you, Wando, and what have you. But the IPMAN, we are in everywhere in the country. And we own 70% of the retail outlets in the country, right? And IPMAN, we are into 5 zones, right? We have Northwest, Northeast, Midwest, Southwest, and East. And I don't want to bother you.
No, you can go on.
The Southwest, we have 5 depots, though it's owned by the NPC depots, but they are not moribund because of the stealing of, we have in the mostly bad, right? And Lagos, of course. And in the East, we have Port Harcourt, Calabar, Aba, Enugu, and Makurdi. And if you go to Northeast, we have Yola, Jos, Gombe, and Maiduguri. And if you come to Midwest, of course, Warrior and Benin. And if you go to Northwest, we have Chuleja Depot, we have Kaduna, we have Gombe, we have Kano, and we have Guzo. Those are 21 depots that made up of IPMAN. And the IPMAN stations are all over the hamlets, villages, right, where major cannot go to, because the major have to look at the commercial value of that investment. But we make life easy for Nigerians, because you can just walk down the road and go and fill your vehicle, your tricycle. Those are the functions. And in fairness, the major and IPMAN, they are the one that do most of the importation, right? The commercial arm of IPMAN is NIMCO, which also they have stations and they also do importations. And IPMAN members are majorly the customers of the IPMAN people. Yeah, we are the one buying what they import. My members too, they buy from a major too. So what they import, 80% of what they import, we buy them, because that's our strong area. They too, they are very strong in importation and tank farm operation.
That's interesting. All right, so the federal government has allowed other marketers to import fuel. How far has the country gone with that?
Yeah, that is what we call the regulation. That we call it, which you have now opened the market. You have removed the monopolistic tendency and power that has been eating us for years. That time, it's only NPC that they have the yam and they have the knife. So they do whatever they like. And but now, it's now open for people that want to play the ball, right? If you have the fund, you have the capacity, you have what it takes to import now, you are free to import. Having complied with the templates of Nigerian Midstream Downstream Authority, right, which is the former PRA, right, that had merged with PEF. So the code is clear now for people that want to import. But there's also a challenge of foreign exchange by the importer because CBN don't have enough forex to finance this importation. So you see people now struggling to get foreign exchange. But I think that one is part of what government will intervene because they cannot afford for us to have scarcity in the country, mainly because there's no foreign exchange.
All right, but overall, does this emphasize the importance of competitive tension within the petroleum sector?
Oh yes, yes. It has come now. It has come. What both that man, Moman, Ipman, they are selling in the industry has dropped because people don't have that financial muscle now to fill tank now. They are not right, and people are also now they are now converting to LPG. Right, to power their generator. Maybe you have not done your own, right? It is cheaper, it's cleaner, and it will cover more hours than petrol. If you can buy your 12.5 kg at 8.5, it can take you for more than 10 days in your house. Then that's an option. That is, in fact, people are converting now their generator massively. And even their vehicle too.
All right, so another question I would like to ask you is the force of supply is crucial in ensuring stable price in the oil sector. How feasible is it for marketers to go into importation?
Well, they are importing, but it's not an easy task. It's not an easy, it's a multi-billion naira operation. You have to source for dollars. Right, and it's not easy to source for dollars, and then the backup, the backup is running into billions. If you want to import, let's say 26 million liters of gas, now you're talking about $17-18 million, which is massive, right? And it's built of the big boys. The people who have the financial muscle. Right, who have foreign partners, who have been in the business before, and who have both tanks to install something. People even have the ship, right? So it's not an easy business to import, but we all have our strength area, right? We have our strength area. That man, they have strength in importation. We have strength in retailing, but we are going to import too, because we go inside there. But government also has to. If they are giving them forex, CBN for importation, they should give Ipman their own portion of forex and give Moman their own and give that man their own, so that they should not monopolize it again. And give only an NPC and maybe two others. They have to also give us our own. So we have partners too that we can partner together to import.
All right. So let's go back to the issue of alternative sources of energy. What impact can this have on fuel stability?
It makes it to be more stable because we are no more relying on petrol. We have options. In fact, if you convert your vehicle, right, to CNG, and you can also fill it with petrol. So it's dual. So if your gas is exhausted, you just press a button, and it is switched to petrol without stopping, right? So, and then when you get to where you are going to refill your gas, you refill your gas again and switch back to gas because it's cheaper. It's cleaner. If you are buying 200 per liter or 250 per liter, compare with 650 up north or 620, 630 in these areas, it's not comparable because we all want to save cost. And there's no CNG, the combustion, the carbon monoxide, and the other they are emitting very, very, very minimal, like petrol, like all this film you are seeing, right? And you service your vehicle maybe twice in a year, but if you are running on petrol, you have to service your vehicle almost every 2 months. In fact, which is cost on its own, right? We have people now who fill their car with 40,000 naira, but with CNG you can fill your car with about 10,000 naira, which is better and cost saving. And then we have option. Whether you go for petrol or you go for LPG, you go for petrol.
So before these options, I mean, the economy is still heavily reliant on oil. But what reforms will you advise the president to bring for more economic prosperity?
You know, we have been flaring gas for years. I've told you earlier that $803 trillion is the worth of, which can last us for more than 200, 300 years, which was not utilized at all. If we are doing, Privatise, we are doing crude, and then we are also doing gas, right? Even we can also import, export gas, right? We can export gas too, so which will also give us billions of dollars per annum, right? And so if you are getting billions of dollars per annum on gas and also on petrol, and you might together, right, there won't be any question of us operating deficit financing of budget. And as you are aware, we are borrowing, we are doing deficit about 10 billion every year. About 10 billion income, 10 billion debt borrowing. How can you sustain with that every year? But I mean, the government has said that they are not going to borrow to finance expenditure. These are the areas they are going to utilize, which was not utilized before because of subsidy. Subsidy says that people are making money in subsidy, they don't see that gas is supposed to be utilized. So, but now that there's an order, there's no choice.
So, Mr. Osatuyi, before I let you go, we have new ministers in place. How confident are you about the ministers in charge of petroleum and gas?
Well, they are qualified. It doesn't mean that you are a lawyer and then you say you are. We have lawyers. Who read Greek, who are bankers, who are MD of banks, and they do very well. So it depends on what the vision he has. It depends on his team, right? If he has a very good team, he's going to go, and we're going to get the best of the system, and then we're going to get best output from the oil, and also get the best output from the gas. And when you mine these two together, it's going to be the best for the country. But they have to also look, the two ministers, you don't think that they know everything. They have to assemble the best hands so that we have materials in this country that will help them. And in fact, they don't rely on sacrifice or everything. They should bring in the best brain. People know the job. Who has been the job for years, so that they can help them to plan the affairs of the oil sector in Nigeria.
Francis, thank you so much. It's been an interesting conversation.